In this edition of UTA Spotlight, we look at how a panel celebrates women and their journeys in leadership positions.
Future teachers at UTA got a head start on their careers last week.
And UTA Radio is celebrating a recent win at the Texas Intercollegiate Press Association 2026 at Denton, and we were able to talk to one of their winners. UTA Spotlight starts now. Welcome to UTA Spotlight. I'm Brianna Alvarado.
And I'm Michelle Trevino. Thank you for joining us.
As we end Women's History Month, the Wesley Foundation of UTA paid tribute to successful women and their achievements in leadership. The event, titled Power She Holds, was organized by Jesus Canales. It is an annual gathering dedicated to highlighting and celebrating the strength, resilience, and voices of women. The speakers were leaders from various organizations and groups at UTA, representing collectives such as Her Script, Girls Who Code, the senior leadership of HSI, among others. The women shared their experiences and gave advice to the audience. The panel discussion featured food, refreshments, and a dance performance by Exquisite to conclude the evening. Visit utawesley.org for more information about this and other empowering events.
The College of Education hosted its annual career fair Thursday, March 26th in the Blue Bonnet Ballroom at the UC. 44 school districts attended, most from the DFW area along with one district from Houston. The event gave students a chance to connect with recruiters, ask questions, and even take part in on-the-spot interviews. While the fair is mainly for senior education majors preparing to enter the workforce, underclassmen also attended to network and learn what employers are looking for. Students also had the opportunity to mingle with classmates and staff throughout the event. Interim Dean Ann Cavallo says she hopes students recognize the effort staff put into making events like this possible.
First of all, the excitement, the dedication that all of our faculty and staff have toward their success. And hopefully our students know that we do this for them, that we put everything into helping them be the best teachers and leaders possible and prepare them for the districts that they will work in.
The College of Education plans to bring their career fair back next year, with early expectations pointing to a possible move to the MAC.
A competitive day took over UTA last Wednesday. UTA Spotlight reporter Andrew Bobby took a look at the action from this year's bed races.
Students filled Maverick Stadium last Wednesday night for UTA's annual bed races. Teams raced down the field and wheeled beds, bringing speed and excitement to the long-time campus tradition. The event, which has been around for over 40 years, gave students a chance to compete and have fun together. There was food, games, and even a medieval theme that kept the crowd engaged all night. Campus Rec Assistant Director Josh Hale shared what it's like to be a part of bed races over the past 5 years.
Try to make it unique, a little bit different every year. You know, I'll give it to our campus partners, Excel Campus Activities. They do a good job coming up with themes. And really, it's just our goal is to bring as many students as possible out here, build a sense of community, come together, connection. And that's really what we do. What we want to do is, you know, this is a time where we're getting close to final exams and things like that, coming off a midterm. So it's just a great opportunity to get together in an evening, connect, meet other Mavericks, and have a good time.
Each team had 5 people, with 4 pushing and 1 riding as they raced 40 yards down the field. One student who competed in the races talked about their experience.
We are in a sorority, actually. We're Delta Zeta. Obviously, we want to come out and show what we're all about. So it's obviously a great way to meet people, socialize, and just have a good time. Definitely be faster. We needed to be a lot faster, a lot more coordinated, but overall, it's a fun memory.
This year's bed races featured 4 different divisions for students to compete in. Team Ferry FC took first place in the men's division, while Delta 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 won the women's division. The National Pan-Hellenic Council took the top spot in the fraternity and sorority division. This is Andrew Bobby with UTA Spotlight.
This marked the 46th edition of the bed races and continued the longest campus tradition at UTA. Now we take it to Michelle for today's Terry Talk.
Welcome back to Terry's Talk. This week, Terry Talk reporter Aiden Clark talks to a fraternity on campus about their upcoming community service event.
What's up, Mavericks? My name is Aiden Clark, and this is another Terry segment where we show UTA students how to get involved on campus. And who do I have today?
I am GU, and I am the Crawfish or Philanthropy Chair at ATO.
Awesome. Okay, so how long have you been involved with ATO, and what influenced you to join?
I've been involved with ATO for 3 semesters, and what influenced me to join was the people in ATO and the causes that they supported.
Okay, that sounds nice. Well, tell me more about this crawfish boil that you guys got going on.
Okay, so the crawfish boil we have planned on April 18th is here at Brazos Park, and it's in partnership with Wipe Out Kids Cancer. Basically, the event is for families and for college students, but also for the kids that we invite. So Wipe Out Kids Cancer invites all the kids that they support that are suffering with pediatric cancer, and we have like face painting, we have a bounce house on top of the crawfish, but the event is really for them, to make it a good day for them.
Okay, is there a specific reason why you guys chose this charity? Have y'all done this specific charity in the past, or what did that look like?
So we've been partnering with Wipe Out Kids Cancer for 12 years now, and it's because of one of our brothers at the time, 12 years ago, Kane Vinson. His younger brother was suffering from pediatric cancer, and Wipe Out Kids Cancer helped them out. So it's our way of giving support back to them, because we honestly consider them family. Like we've been partnering with them for so long. Like I couldn't imagine it any other way, honestly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Kind of steering away, I suppose, from the crawfish boil itself. Kind of more personal for you.
Yeah.
What would you say that your favorite ATO event is? Would it be this one? Would it be a separate one that you guys do? Does that one also involve charity?
Yeah. I'm kind of biased because I'm planning this event, but yeah, this is my favorite my favorite ATO event. But our other one is in the fall. We usually have a car show, and that's also in partnership with Wipe Out Kids Cancer. So last year, all the profits we made from that also went towards Wipe Out Kids Cancer.
Yeah. Do you guys work with any other charity, or is it just specifically like with Wipe Out Kids Cancer?
Honestly, we love the people over at Wipe Out Kids Cancer. Like that's who we support. But we also do support. Cancer is honestly a big thing for us. We do support just kids in general that are suffering from cancer. Sometimes, like if we have a personal connection to someone outside of Wipe Out Kids Cancer, we'll also raise money to support them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, keeping that personal connection with them is honestly amazing. What would you say is your personal favorite part of the crawfish boil? Like, is it the giving back to the specific charity? Is there a specific aspect when you guys are here doing it?
Yeah.
What does that look like for you?
Okay, I would say my favorite part is it's kind of corny, but like seeing the smiles on the kids' faces when they come out. It's corny, but it's true. You know, like that's priceless. Like there's nothing better than that. Also, my favorite part of the event is some of us, like we let the kids shave our hair off. Like we let them give us buzz cuts. So I'll be doing that this year too. So yeah, it's kind of just our way of like letting the kids know that, you know, they're not alone. Yeah.
And I heard, okay, so you said that y'all been working with this charity for 12 years. Has that, as long as the seafood boil has been around, or has it been around longer than that? What does that look like?
We started it 12 years ago.
Okay, so it started 12 years ago, and you've been doing with that charity for 12 years.
Yes,
wow,
sir. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I think that's really, really impactful for people.
I hope so.
I highly encourage all you guys to go check it out. And if you are checking it out, make sure to mention one of our Terrys, Noe. Make sure you mention his name when you guys are going. So thank you again so much.
Of course.
I am so excited. I definitely want to check it out and give back. That's a really good cause. So I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much.
Of course.
ATO's 12th annual crawfish boil is scheduled for April 18th at Brazos Park from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you like seafood and eating, every bite goes towards something bigger.
UTA Radio is celebrating recent wins from the Texas Intercollegiate Press Association, and one student turned practice into a first-place finish. At UTA Radio, students are getting real reps behind the mic, building confidence, some calling games, and finding their voice. New students join UTA Radio every semester and get an opportunity to use that experience in live sets and competitions. We were able to catch up with a UTA Radio's play-by-play first-place winner, Jay Jacinto.
Since just won first for that tip of wow, like the just joy I got from that was so intense. And
achievements like this aren't just impressive on a resume. They're the kind of real-world experience that's shaping the next generation of broadcasters.
How does UTA work to keep students healthy with the food served on campus? And what is the university doing to push back against the nation's trend toward less healthy eating? Reporter Garrett Crowder has more.
Recent changes to the food pyramid are affecting every level of the food process across America. But how does that affect the food at UTA? I asked 2 students about what they thought of the food provided for students at UTA.
To keep them healthy, I think it's picking more fiber. I've definitely seen a lot more like rice and like healthier foods that support like healthier diets.
I think they do a pretty good, decent job about it. Like in the UC and the Commons, everything that they have in there seems to be like cooked fresh. Like it's all decent. It's all really good ingredients, but they still do have like all the fast food that you would want to get if you still have cravings.
So the students are clearly seeing the healthy food at UTA and how it makes a difference. But what about what is happening back in the kitchen? Who better to answer than the executive chef of the dining halls?
The new dietary guidelines is more of a switch in the mentality of what we should be eating and what we should be focusing on. That doesn't really change on our offerings. Our offerings still include the grains, the proteins, and everything else.
So the dining halls at UTA are not only providing healthy options, but they are to an even greater standard than the new dietary guidelines, which should help everyone be very healthy indeed. Garrett Crowder, Arlington Sentinel News.
For more information on how to eat healthy on campus, please contact a UTA staff nutritionist.
After the break, students got a sample of a variety of foods at the International Food Festival.
We look at a live music event at Brazos Park.
We hear from the softball head coach after 2 straight conference series wins next on UTA Spotlight.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
Earlier this week, students got a taste of different cultures all over the world at the International Food Fair. Brazos Park drew students in with the International Food Fair, part of the university's I-Week celebrations. The fair showcased dishes from countries like Mexico, India, Japan, and more, with students lining up to try everything from Indian donuts to Asian barbecue and other unique treats. Students also enjoyed live music, colorful decorations, and hands-on cultural displays, making the fair more than just a food experience. The experience united students celebrating diversity of campus life while providing a fun and educational way to learn about different traditions.
Recently, students were able to enjoy an evening of live music hosted by the Department of Music at Brazos Park. The UTA Commercial Music Ensemble performed from 6 to 8:30 p.m., where they played many songs for the enjoyment of students and passers-by. The musicians and singers showed their talent as they performed songs from genres like rock, pop, R&B, reggae, and others. The Brazos Park stage was lit up with colorful lights, which only added to the vibe brought by the live music. Live music events come every now and then, so check Mav Engage for any upcoming events by the UTA Department of Music.
Michaela Nobles hosts Healing Reflections, which focuses on personal growth and emotional well-being for students. In the latest episode, Michaela and Dr. Lauren Pitts-Bounds talk about when to let go of a relationship. Sometimes we hold on, hoping things will change. But you know deep down, when your peace feels heavy and your heart is not safe, you're giving more than you are receiving.
The alone time is really important, but before that alone time, people have to acknowledge that there's work to be done, right? You've heard me say, and I probably say it every episode, right, that the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. You cannot confront and conquer what you won't acknowledge. So the first thing you have to do is look in the mirror and be like, you know what? Is the condition of my life what I want it to be? Can I honestly say that I love the life that I'm living? And if the answer to that is no, if you realize that you have more discontentment in your life than you have joy and peace and happiness and fulfillment, then you've got to make some acknowledgement. And then after you make that acknowledgement, you have to be willing to take the time to really get to know yourself for who you really are. Understand what makes you think, feel, function, and navigate life the way that you do. And then you can begin to put systems and measures in place, because remember I said, in order to modify your behavior, you have to have an identity shift. All of these clinical terms, all of this maladaptive behavior aligns with how you identify. When you identify yourself as a healthier, more whole version of yourself, your behavior will follow, right? And those are the practical steps. And take the time to humble yourself and acknowledge and admit and seek help. If you had all of the answers, you would already be living that life. You would already be walking in that version of yourself. So give someone a chance, a neutral party, a therapist, a life coach, a pastor, a mentor. Give someone a chance that has the ability to share with you what they see in a constructive way, right? In a constructive way. We like to call them partners in believing, right? Have a circle of people that you're connected to that are going to be honest with you and that can help you to evolve into that stronger, healthier, better version of yourself. And then, what we said in the very beginning of this episode, then you now have an anchor that says, wait a minute, does this decision, does this behavior align with how I want to define my dash? And if it doesn't, why are you doing it? And then the last thing is sort of like a side note. I don't ever tell people to pursue perfection, pursue greatness and excellence, because you're never going to be perfect. You're never. It's like you said, it's not until we go on to the next life, whatever that is for whomever, that you're going to be blemish free.
Walking away is not easy, but staying where you are, no longer growing, can cost you more. If you have been wondering if it is time, consider watching the whole conversation on Michaela's YouTube channel at The Real One TV or on Instagram at The Real Michaela.
As spring warms the campus, the College of Science brought together students at Brazos Park for a spring picnic to help them unwind and dine. The goal was to give everyone a fun afternoon to relax on campus, whether stopping by for a moment or staying longer. There were plenty of activities that students could do to have fun or mix and mingle. Students could test their mini golf skills or bond over cornhole. Additionally, students could get free shaved ice to cool down from the hot weather. A food truck was present to serve lunch for students throughout the event. The College of Science says they were excited to welcome students to relax, refresh, and unwind together. With the weather heating up and the semester speeding along, this picnic was a perfect reminder for students to have some fun and cool off with friends, while also enjoying the weather. Now we turn to Andrew for some sports updates.
That is right, Michelle. The Maverick Report starts now. The UTA softball team is on a roll as they got their second straight series win against Tarleton State to start WAC conference play with a record of 4-2. Here's what Kara Dill had to say about the mindset of a team winning conference series.
It's not always the better team that wins game 3. It's the team that can adjust. It's the team that pays attention to details. Because at that point, there's no secrets. You know what the other team has. You've been with them for 2 games. And I thought that mindset, that change in us will help us get past the settling after just a series win. But also super cool, 2 series wins.
The Lady Mavericks hopes to continue the winning way by facing Utah Valley in Utah this weekend to extend their streak to 3. In other sports news, UTA baseball ends their non-conference with a series sweep over Villanova before conference play begins. Head coach Mike Trapasso reflects on the poor bats, but credit the pitching in Game 3 to seal the sweep.
You couldn't ask for a better outing from the pitching on that end. Disappointing that we weren't able to generate anything offensively, and and we got to be better than that on Sundays. And both Sundays, that's going to cost us.
UTA baseball starts conference play with the 3-game in-state rivalry series against Tarleton State this weekend at Clay Gould Park, starting Thursday. UTA is building hype around its new women's flag football team with a hands-on event for students and the community. The university hosted a flag football festival on Monday, giving people a chance to get involved through live games, trivia, prizes, and to meet head coach Melinda Wynn. Students took part in activities like a quarterback training net, one-on-one matchups, and even got a few tips from Coach Wynn. The event focused on introducing the sport and growing interest on campus.
UTA being one of the first to have D1 flag football is huge, right? It means that we are trailblazers in the space, we are progressive, we're making change, and it takes one school at a time to make that change, and UTA is the first one to do it. So it gives lots of girls opportunities for college, for an education, but also to continue flag football at a higher level and to play, learn the sport, and we know that football teaches life lessons, and so hopefully those lessons that we learn on the field will translate to in life. It's fun, it's exciting, it's women in sports, right? And it's like a highlight reel of tackle football. So it's just a really fun game to watch. We want it to be a big event, lots of crowds and tailgating and fun, and just a really good time for everyone. So I think everyone should come out and watch a game.
UTA is the first Division I school in Texas to have a women's flag football team with its first season set for spring 2027. The program hopes to events like this keeps the hype going, leading up to that first kickoff. Back to you.
Thank you, Andrew, for that sports update. That's all that we have for you on this edition of UTA Spotlight. To stay up to date with us, please follow us on Instagram at MavMediaUTA.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Bree.
I'm Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.